Hello to one, hello to the many. Okay, we're bringing everybody in, we're reeling everybody in, we're reeling all the love in. We're getting centered and we're getting grounded. Okay, we're staying centered and we are staying grounded. I want to just bring you guys a spiritual reflection about this day, this very hour. The moon is moving into the first zodiac sign of Aries. And I want to talk about this moon transit today because we are now officially in a new moon cycle. This is officially a new emotional cycle that we are getting ready to transition into. We are transitioning into a new emotional light body sensory perception, okay? With the moon going through Aries, after making its last round through the 12th, it starts a new moon cycle in the beginning sign Aries. So today is about passion. Today is about taking charge. Today is about bravery. Today is about seeing beyond yourself. It's about feeling into things beyond yourself. And really like seeing a vision and painting a clear picture of what it is you want and what you love, what you're passionate about, what you ultimately desire, to be, who you are. Aries is the I am. It rules the head, right? And it also rules our light body, it ultimately rules our light body. The energy of Aries corresponds with a newborn baby, which when they come out, it's the I am, right? So just a little bit of preliminary before we get fully into this. But yes, moon in Aries is completely about taking charge. And today, this may be this may happen. This may be influenced through, or I should say that this will influence certain emotions that you have today over the next couple of days as the moon is making a transit through Aries. Is the desire to move forward, those desires and that push and you seeing what you want as it pertains to who you are and how well you're connected with yourself, because Aries is the self. This could influence and stimulate anger, and pettiness, I guess. Everybody uses that word. I'm kind of starting to hate that word, petty. But pettiness, just very, very, like, looking very, 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 like, straight ahead, like tunnel vision. And this can cause some damage. This can be very damaging or debilitating to you within your relationships over the next couple of days in particular. If you're not, open-minded enough to, receive, what I'm saying, and you're just ready to charge forward, be wary that could really inhibit you from making solid connections. Like, Aries and Gemini on the zodiac wheel make a sextile to each other. They make a very helpful aspect to one another. But with this moon transit, and the sun going through Gemini right now, we have Mercury in Gemini. There's a lot of communicating going on, a lot of making new connections, a lot of talking, a lot of, just kind of nitpicking at stuff and really, really making it, trying to make things clear, trying to map things out. It's a lot of that. So, don't neglect, people. Don't neglect connectivity. Don't neglect the need to make conversation, just because of hot-headedness, basically, if that makes sense. So like I already said, today is the start of a new cycle, and this is really a new cycle of bravery, of passion, of new communication, making new connections, and just discovery, self-discovery through interacting, so that's why I say don't, be, because the moon is our emotional body. It's our vibe, so everybody's collective vibe is that Aries, that very egoic self, the self, what I'm saying? Everybody's in a vibe of, what am I passionate about? What do I desire? What do I want? How do I see things? What I'm saying? How do I see things? as being the center of my universe, because we all are the center of our universe. And definitely whenever there is an Aries transit, we become that much more, infused with that mentality. Okay. And so with the sun going through Gemini and Mercury going through Gemini, the moon will be making sextiles to both of them. This is going to kickstart things. This is going to kick us in gear. This is going to see people coming together in different extra ways. It's going to merge polarities, and it's going to help us. We're really, really being guided right now by our angels and by our neurological structure in our body. And we're starting to have, there's like this internal mental navigation that's now assisting us. You know, it's like we're getting hooked into Siri, and it's like we're driving, and we kind of, this past weekend with the moon going through Aquarius, going through Pisces, really, really should have helped us to surrender over some things so that we'd be light enough and open enough to make connections and to see where we can interject our point and harmonize with other people. And, you know, ultimately what we're doing is we're constructing new formats of thinking, new mental systems. We're forming new perceptions right now. Everything is about perception right now. Everything is highly, highly, highly based on perception, as it always is. But now it's more about being the observer, you know, and that's what I mean about this moon going through Aries, is that yes, you are the center of your universe, but don't forget that the wind has been blowing longer than you. You know, the wind has been around longer than you. The trees have been around longer than you. The sun has been there longer than you. You know, so what that means and what that basically intensifies is the need to connect and to be open. You know, Gemini season, the sun in Gemini, our vitality and our power and our will and our success is bent on how open we can be, and how, I guess, what's the word? Not how frivolous, but just how much more open we can be, how much more childlike, how much more of our behavior can we kind of curtail in order to gain new perceptions, you know, and to grow. Because ultimately this is about growth. Gemini represents the number 3, the third zodiac sign. Number 3 represents connectivity, joy, enthusiasm, growth, luck, expansion. How can we expand when we're still thinking and coming from the same boxed in, limited perceptions? You understand what I'm saying? So while everybody's perception is valid and works to connect the whole, you know, we have to remember that we each only have limited perception. And so with that being said, we all have to be humble. You understand what I'm saying? We all have to remain humble. And when I say remaining humble, I just mean respectful of each other and listening and hearing each other out, you know, and manifesting healthy ways to communicate. Gemini, the third house, Gemini is a representative of the third house of our communication, or the house of siblings. So what does that mean? With this sun going through the third house, whether or not this is your third house or not, whether or not Gemini is your third house, this is going to illuminate and help you to become aware of how you communicate, new ways to communicate, also new ways to travel, trade, commerce, how to sell and market ideas for those who are heavily into marketing and who manufacture, people who are entrepreneurs, and just in general, our wit and our charm, you know, our wittiness and our charm. You know, Gemini is very playful, man, because what it represents is, you know, the twins, you know, children, and how they like to create different things with their words and hands, and paint and write and create different resonance with our voice, you know. So a lot of this is about, you know, clearing the throat chakra. You know, we are clearing the throat chakra so that we can We can evacuate whatever it is that is holding us back from truly being open to receive and to harmonize with other people. Because ultimately, life is about creating harmony. And with Gemini representing the twins, the light and the dark, the sun and the moon, the good and the bad, you know what I'm saying? It's all about acknowledging everything. We have to acknowledge everything. Everything needs to be acknowledged. The good, the bad, the ugly, the truth, the lie. But it all is the truth. That's the trick. That's the trick. That's the game we're playing, is that nobody is wrong and nobody is right. That's the real rub of this universe, is that nobody is right, nobody is wrong for being exactly who they are. You just have to figure out where you fit in with that. You understand what I'm saying? All right, now, you have to figure out where it is you fit in with the present philosophy of the day and age. Does that make sense? So it's not about trying to be right. You know what I'm saying? We can speak our opinion from our heart and soul and, still not try to be, it still not be about being right or someone knowing more, having the answer, because the thing about Gemini season as well is that, it's about the question and the answer. It's about the question. But see, whenever you ask the question, the answer is right behind it. So this is a season where we're going to get a lot of answers. I know me in particular, I am definitely opening myself up to search and to ask questions, because I feel like I've been in such a state of knowing that I haven't really had room in my mind, in my body, or anywhere to really expand. And so I guess it is freeing. See, a lot of us as children are taught not to ask why, or not to, or told not to question God. But see, when you do that, what you do is you capsize your experience, because if you can't ever ask questions about things, how do I grow? How do I really go through a full experience if I can't question or tamper with or tinker with or try to invent something that may or may not come out as like I wanted, but at least I learned from it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing about Gemini season, is that we have to really, really put away all doubt and put away all fear and just start asking questions, man. Get inventive. Like, whatever can pop into your mind, anything is possible. That's the thing about Gemini seasons, that by the end of this season, we're going to see the beauty that belongs to us. When I think of Gemini, I split the two words up, because I look at Gemini and Sagittarius, they're the opposite on the wheel. Gemini representing our communication, our lungs. It represents our mind. And then Sagittarius representing our faith, our belief, our philosophy, the future, the third eye of Sagittarius really is the third eye. You know what I'm saying? So, by the end of the season, we're going to see that. But I split the word Gemini. I take Gem in I. Gem in I. So the gem in your eye, okay? So everybody right now, especially with the moon being in Aries right now, and sun and Mercury being in Gemini, and those energies being opposite the Jupiter in Sagittarius energy, we all have this gem in our eye. We can all pretty much see, and we're salivating over what it is that we desire to create and to expand and grow on, okay? And so keep the gem in your eye, keep your eye on the prize. The thing about Gemini, I will say right now, and that I had to learn the hard way very painfully through my experience with a particular Gemini, God bless that person's soul, their heart and their spirit, is that Gemini knows how to, because they're so not attached, they can compartmentalize almost in a way that like a Taurus or like a Scorpio could. Gemini will ask the question just to create chaos. Gemini will ask questions just to go ahead and create chaos and then divert their energy from that, just because they had to tinker with something, just because they had to see. But that's the way of children. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of almost like this natural gusto or this charm. It's really, really innocent. Gemini and Aries they both represent that innocence. You know what I'm saying? That innocent childlike wonder that we all really, really are, that really is the core center of who we are. You know, even when we are living in judgment, living in unforgiveness, living in fear and doubt. You know, Gemini will always still ask the question, why, or, you know, what could be, or what could have been, you know, so it always leaves room to, as I'm seeing it, forgive and to heal and all those things. And the Geminian energy, with being ruled by Mercury, that's the Archangel Raphael archetype, healing us too, healing our mental patterns, healing our perceptions. You know, we have Chiron, you know, which the moon is going to be conjuncting today, the star of the wounded healer in Aries, which is the pathway to self, you know, which is about self-actualization. So we're truly, truly, really healing a wound, healing a path, healing a path, you know. We're healing a path. We're healing our own perception of the path that we've taken. We're healing a perception just about everything that life has had to offer up to this point. This is kind of like that, what I call a tipping point or a polarity point, where everything kind of switches to its polar opposite, or where we start to kind of mirror. Everything kind of starts to become a mirror that connects everything to everything. Okay. I was really excited to do this video because I feel this energy, just building up, you know what I'm saying? Building up in me. And I want to share this so that I have clarity, and so that other people can have clarity too, on how to utilize the energy and what to expect and how to sharpen your perception. You know, because we all need a wake-up call. That's another thing I'm feeling about this sun in Gemini, you know, with Mercury going through it, moon going through Aries right now. It's Tuesday. You know, we're all in need of some type of a wake-up call. We all need a wake-up call, you know, like wake up. You know, last night I dealt with a little bit of sleep paralysis, which happens to me from time to time, where I will literally, my body will shut down, but my mind literally is still within the physical compound. I can feel the physical limitations and compounds of my body while being on the pillow. So that's kind of scary, but it's something that it doesn't really affect me, but it just, in the moment, it's kind of unnerving, right? And you know, I woke up this morning and I thought about that experience. You know, like, man, why do I have sleep paralysis? And it was just like, you got to wake up. Like, you have to wake up. And so it's like, right now we're in a season right now. See how I feel about today with the moon being in Aries. You know, Aries represents spring, you know, springtime. That's Aries season. This today really, really does feel like a new slate, like a new year almost. I'm claiming today as my new year. Okay. I'm claiming my day today as my new year. This is my new year. This is my new year because I made it here. I'm here today on the day where the moon is transiting through Aries. And I'm speaking to you guys, and I'm speaking about new things, new concepts, even new to me. You know what I'm saying? Unseen and unheard. You know, and that's a lot of what Gemini. See, Gemini is my moon sign, y'all. So right now I'm stimulating a lot of, I'm needing a lot of stimulation. I'm getting a lot of mental stimulus coming my way. And for me, it's just been about like listening and, you know, observing, trying to do better with becoming a better listener. And not that I'm not a good listener, not that I can't listen, but becoming better about listening to people without having my perceptions or my fixed perceptions in the forefront, you know, so that I can hear them out. Okay. I'm working every day to be a better individual. You know, this is my astrology page, and I want to grow this channel, and I want to grow my skills, my communication skills, how I present this information. I'm looking to grow and I'm looking to expand. So right now I'm taking this energy as an opportunity. And as I'm talking, y'all, I just want to note that I am currently watching 3, maybe 4, 4 butterflies just flying around in front of, in between mine and my neighbor's house. I'm seeing these butterflies, you know, which this is very Geminian, you know, the openness, the flying, you know, the the wavering, you know what I'm saying? Just the adventure, the exploration, the abundance, you know, the abundance of Gemini, you know. So everybody should be taking in abundance, you know, taking in the abundance of God, you know, of the universe. Take in the abundance, you know, listen to the birds chirp, you know, listen to the rainfall when and if it's raining, you know, while you're in the shower. Listen, you know, just kind of tune in, you know. Right now, air seasons, whenever we're in the middle of air season, that's always a great opportunity to tune in, because our mind gets more perceptive, but then our minds also get more opened up. So it's like we're in the realm of making the impossible possible. Okay. So we have to be aware of this, and we have to be humble enough to know that, you know, if it could come, you know, like if it can come out of the mouth of a donkey, it can come out of the mouth of anybody. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you know, if you can do it, then someone else can do it too, if that makes sense, you know. So it's just about, you know, I know we're all on a growth walk. We're all growing in spirituality and consciousness and universal mobility, as I like to call it. But we all have to remember to remain humble. You know, I'm talking to myself. We have to remain humble. We have to remain humble. Humility is key to everything. And that's the thing about children, is that, you know, children, and not to mention Mars being in Cancer. So we're dealing with a lot of emotional, I keep hearing this word frugalness. We're dealing with this emotional frugalness. It's almost like this battle. You know, we're battling from the inside. We're trying to push forward a new way. You know, so we got the moon going through Aries, which Aries is ruled by Mars, and then Mars, which is in Cancer, which Cancer is ruled by the moon. So it's these coinciding, mirroring energies that I'm talking about, these sextiles and squares that are really, really helping us to interpret this energy, you know, of how we should be. You know, like we're intermingling, we're interchanging right now. Even storylines, you know, storylines of abuse, storylines of neglect, storylines of pain and trauma and shame, and even storylines that, you know, of joy and bravery and honesty and truth. All those things, like the script is being flipped. You understand what I'm saying? So where you were shaming your own self, you know what I'm saying, even where other people were shaming you, where the world may have been shaming you, you're about to really, really be raised up, because, you know, people didn't even realize who you were and what you were doing at the time. You know, to even have, they didn't, like, people didn't have enough information at the time to even judge you or talk about you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let alone the stuff that people make up because of their own false perception about themselves, which is pretty much what we're dealing with every day. We're really dealing with everyone's own perceptions being mingled, and we're trying to work to relay them and resonate, make them resonate on a level. So that's another thing. If there's something that doesn't resonate with you, like if you know, if you go on YouTube videos and there are things that people are, you know, people who call themselves teachers or acclaim, you know, teachers and spiritualists and tarot readers and psychics and all that stuff, astrologers, if they're saying things that maybe other people resonate with, but it doesn't resonate with you, don't feel like the oddball, or be that oddball, but don't feel bad about it not resonating with you, and you standing up and saying something like, you know, this doesn't really resonate with me. You know, this is my perspective, and this is how, you know, I see, and this is how I define this. You know, don't feel like you have to be pressured into things resonating with you, you know, just because it may sound good. Just because it may sound good. So healing needs to be done in that area of perception, okay? Healing needs to be done. So this is my video on the moon transit through Aries / you know, also the sun and Gemini, the Mercury energy, even Mars going through Cancer. You know, we're initiating these new emotions, new feelings of self-care and love, and, you know, emotional home, you know, a new light body, a new feeling, you know. So this is a battle. This is a battle to heal, past the layers of pain from within our home lives, within our parental systems, and our home life, just our sense of security, period. So a lot of root chakra work, solar plexus chakra work, and sacral chakra work, okay? And I'll be making more videos, you know, that will help to better define the how, you know, the relationship of this channel to the rest of the world. You know, I'm just posting some stuff up right now so that I can get my thoughts out, and you know, if it resonates with you, then wonderful. If it doesn't, then wonderful. But this is my experience, and this is the life that I'm creating for myself and for those around me. And yeah, thank y'all for watching this. I'll be tuning in with you guys again. And this is Poseidon Deep Astrology. Thank y'all. Blessings.